Good evening. My name is Dave Burke, and I am DePauw's Vice President for Academic Affairs. On behalf of the university, it is truly my pleasure to welcome the class of 2024 and their families and friends to our community. Last year, at this convocation, I told the class of 2023 that we were going to, quote, learn together in ways we could not even anticipate, end quote. Little did I know how true that would be. Over the past 5 months, due to COVID-19, we have indeed learned together in ways we could not have anticipated one short year ago. We have learned the phrase, quote, you are on mute, and we have learned the embarrassment of gleefully telling a friend or colleague, you are on mute, only to find out that they're not on mute. Rather, you have forgotten to put the earbuds in your ears. And yes, that did happen to me last week. On a more serious note, through this journey, we have also come to see even more clearly just how vital an education grounded in the liberal arts and sciences can be as we face the most difficult problems the world knows, such as COVID-19. To see this, let's take a tour of DePauw's general education program through a COVID-19 lens. Our general education program will let you explore the sciences through courses in areas such as biochemistry. If you want to see how that connects to the pandemic, think about pharmaceuticals. Computer science, think about simulations of disease transmission. And mathematics, think statistical models that inform COVID-19 testing protocols. In parallel, you explore the arts and humanities, where you can take an English course on the literature of pandemics. And it turns out that there's quite a bit of literature about pandemics. And you can also take a history course or a classical studies course to learn the lessons of earlier pandemics. David Gelman, the chair of our history department, recently told me, quote, one of the reasons scientists and policymakers are drawing on the prior example of the 1918 flu pandemic is that we have histories of that event. Professor Gelman also told me, quote, we are also desperately in need of historians to document, chronicle, and narrate this historical event. To that end, he explained, the DePauw Archives is launching an archival project to document how members of our community experienced this crisis. To further understand our experiences, our Peeler Art Gallery will host an exhibit to explore the meaning of community in a physically distanced world. So far, you've heard me talk about science, math, literature, history, and art, but there is so much more. While studying the social sciences at DePauw, you will learn about economics, political science, sociology, and other disciplines that will provide you with a quantitative and qualitative tools that you can use to understand the way social systems and social relationships intersect with the pandemic. DePauw's general education program will also expose you to coursework in power, privilege, and diversity. These courses, sometimes taught in interdisciplinary areas such as Africana studies, global health, peace and conflict studies, and women's gender and sexuality studies, will help you understand why this pandemic negatively impacts some groups disproportionately. And it will empower you to contribute to solutions that dismantle this injustice. Through global learning courses, you will deepen your appreciation for other cultures and languages. Programs such as Asian studies, German studies, global French studies, Hispanic studies, and Italian cultural studies will broaden your perspective so you can situate the pandemic in a global context. Finally, you will graduate from DePauw with strong writing, speaking, and quantitative reasoning skills, all of which are important when grappling with the toughest problems, such as COVID-19. Just as I told the class of 2023 last year, and now tell you, the class of 2024, we are going to learn together in ways that we cannot even anticipate. Through it all, I am counting on you, indeed, we are all counting on you, to prepare yourselves to address future problems that we cannot even imagine. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium my friend and colleague, Alan Hill, Vice President for Student Academic Life and Dean of Students. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Hill, Vice President for Student Academic Life and Dean of Students. Whether you elected to learn on campus, decided to commute to campus, or chose to remotely learn from your home this fall, we are honored to have you join DePaul University. President White, who you will hear from shortly, joins each of the members of the class of 2024 as we welcome you into our DePaul family. On behalf of President White, our faculty, staff, coaches, and current students, we want to thank each student and family for patiently working through this ever-changing COVID-19 situation with us. Please know that all of our plans for this fall term were developed by looking through the COVID lens, with the top priority always being the health and safety of each and every one of you. We proudly welcome 397 first-year students and 10 transfer students to DePaul University this fall, our campus community, and the city of Greencastle. The student who got everything started for the class of 2024 as a student who paid their first deposit was Kaylin Moran from New Lenox, Illinois, where she attended Lincoln Way West High School. She is a true student athlete and a fierce competitor in the classroom and on the softball field. If any of you happen to struggle a little bit as you make your transition to college, look up Kaylin, who I was told recently learned how to juggle. She was a warrior in high school, and now she's a tiger, and we're so happy to have her and all of you join us. So, on behalf of the enrollment and management team, we want to thank Kaylin, or Kiwi as some call her, for believing in us and getting everything rolling. Students, I invite each of you to briefly take a moment to give your parent or guardian a big hug for all the things that they have done for you and for making this wonderful opportunity possible. Okay, Mom and Dad, turn them loose now. We got them. Parents and guardians, thank you for putting your trust in us. Please know that we are honored and don't take that privilege lightly. As I mentioned, regardless of learning option that you selected, we are committed to engaging your student, not just this year, but throughout the 4 years in order to make sure that they are able to realize the true benefits and the full value of their DePaul education. Students, we would like each of you to know, 1, that we care deeply about your health and safety, well-being, and we are here to support you. 2, we need you to bring your broad skills, talents, diverse backgrounds, and experiences to make a vibrant learning environment for all. 3, our faculty and staff are here to meaningfully engage with you as you plan and explore our academic and co-curricular pathways. We are here to help provide clarity and a sense of calmness that allows the stability to happen for you in those hectic moments that you may face. Classes will start soon, and that is when you officially begin your college journey. Our outstanding faculty are eager to challenge you, to stretch your minds, while along the way providing the appropriate amount of guidance, advice, and support. Let me share a few specifics about your classmates. 88 of you are first-generation students. 87 of your classmates are domestic students of color. 82 of you were captains of your athletic teams. 80 are international students representing 15 different countries. Places like Vietnam, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Morocco, and Nigeria, just to name a few. 84 of you are legacy students. Welcome to you, to DePauw, as well as your family, who are longtime alums of this institution. 21 of you are proudly part of our professional school of music. Your average GPA is a 3.76. Average ACT was a 26, and the average SAT was a 1230. And while I don't have the opportunity to recognize all of the talents, services, awards, honors that each of you bring to our campus, two special recognitions caught my eye. One of your talented classmates and it had an entrepreneurial mindset as early as their 8th grade when they became the founder and CEO of a charity that is still up and running today. And finally, future Little 500 bike riders, move over, because you have a classmate that is the top-ranked U.S. cyclist in your age group. What a class. We salute all of you from near and far. Tiger Pride, and welcome to DePauw. Thank you.
Good afternoon, class of 2024, and welcome to DePauw. My name is John Cassidy, class of 1982. I am the president of the DePauw Alumni Association. On behalf of 31,262 alumni leaders and thinkers across the nation and the world, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the DePauw family. Although the beginning of your DePauw experience is not under typical circumstances, today you begin not just a 4-year college experience, but a lifelong association with faculty, staff, and friends at DePauw. Through your enrollment at DePauw, you've earned access to an extraordinary network of accomplished graduates who are there to help you navigate the DePauw experience and prepare for life and work beyond graduation. Many of your college internships and postgraduate opportunities are made available by our alumni. You are also the 3rd class in DePauw history to embark on the Gold Commitment. Our commitment is that 100% of your graduating class will have plans within 6 months of graduation for employment, fellowships, or graduate and professional school. So I highly, strongly, and enthusiastically encourage you to make use of the Alumni Network and the Gold Commitment as you choose a major, participate in co-curricular activities on campus, seek an internship or off-campus experience, study abroad, and make plans for your first job or graduate school. DePauw alumni are intensely loyal and committed to sharing their time, expertise, and financial support to provide you with the same quality of life-changing experiences they enjoyed as students. I can tell you today, more than ever before, DePauw alumni are committed to you and your DePauw education, both while you are here at DePauw and afterward. Regardless of our roles today, all of us gathered here today are beneficiaries of generations of noble alumni philanthropy. As a matter of fact, you experienced philanthropy at work today upon moving in. Our alumni are major contributors to the campus's construction, specifically $2.1 million in donations for new housing. So if you haven't figured it out by now, we, the alumni, have your back. We support you, we want you to be successful, and we will do everything in our power to help you. In 4 short years, which will pass faster than you can possibly imagine, you'll be a proud part of our deep alumni tradition. I look forward to getting to know you and to follow your successes. Class of 2024, on behalf of my fellow alumni, near and far, welcome home.
On behalf of the student body, DePauw student government, and the student body president, it is my honor to welcome you, the class of 2024, to DePauw University. My name is James O'Keen, and I'm the Executive Vice President of DePauw Student Government. What a fantastic journey you are embarking on as you formally start the beginning of your college experience. From this moment on, you are officially part of a very special academic family at an outstanding university. Together, today, we are DePauw. Now let's address the elephant in the room. I'm sorry, how could I forget? We can't actually be in the same room, but let's not fail to recognize that we are in an unprecedented time in our world's history due to COVID-19. Your DePauw family wants to acknowledge that its newest family members are rising to this occasion with resiliency, courage, and determination. Your DePauw family knows how special you are by choosing to be here with us, learning, growing, and thriving as individuals. Although you might be feeling a bit unsure of your new surroundings, please know that your DePauw family is here to guide you, help you, and even push you towards your personal best. This momentous journey is your time to explore all the amazing opportunities DePauw has to offer. Take advantage of an institution that supports and allows you to venture into new expanses. The amazing faculty, staff, and opportunities are here waiting for you. I sailed in here last year as an overwhelmed first-year student athlete and management fellow, unaware of the many opportunities that are available to all the students on DePauw's campus. Never would I have thought that I would have become the Executive Vice President of DePauw Student Government, and well, here I am. DePauw provides the opportunities for students to explore their interests and gain valuable experiences as leaders across campus. Do not underestimate this small school, sitting in the middle of a small town. Your DePauw has educated and graduated very accomplished individuals. Our alumni network is strong, vast, and diverse, and these alumni are here to help you along in your academic and life journey. This is your time. You have made it, and you are here. And we are one DePauw together. Welcome to DePauw University, and roll Tigs.
Welcome to Greencastle, class of 2024, and all returning students and faculty. We appreciate having your energy on campus and in our community. I had the good fortune to marry into the DePauw and Greencastle family. 6 members of my wife's family are all alums, and most grew up here in Greencastle. These are certainly interesting times as both the university and the community rethink and rework many previously normal aspects of our lives. I have already had the good fortune of working with Dr. White. She will be the 5th university president I've worked with during my career here in Greencastle. She brings a great deal of energy and vision to the campus. Each year, I look forward to new partnerships with the university. Greencastle is a great community, and I would invite you to become engaged with our citizens, our local organizations, and places of worship, despite some of the restrictions brought about by the pandemic. Greencastle is a typical small Midwestern community. We are reflective of the middle range of communities across Indiana. Besides the university, we have a strong industrial base and a strong agricultural component in our county. For those of you from larger, more urban communities, don't be alarmed if someone greets you around town. Just enjoy a bit of what we call Hoosier hospitality. I and our city council, 2 of our members are members of the faculty, extend an invitation to you to participate in our community events such as our farmers market on Saturday mornings and the upcoming Taste of Putnam County. Explore our community by enjoying our People Pathways trail system and visiting our local restaurants and businesses. Continuing the theme of engagement, my children benefited from students volunteering in our local schools. My wife teaches music at Greencastle Middle School and has a partnership with the School of Music. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with student interns and host honor scholars. Several of our local companies host interns. You're invited to explore and take advantage of these opportunities. As you gain experience on and off campus to become one of the leaders the world needs, consider applying your skills during your tenure here and after graduation in a smaller community. We need well-rounded individuals to serve in small and medium-sized communities across the nation and the world. I would like to offer a special welcome to our international students. We thank you for sharing your culture with our community. We want you to know that Greencastle is truly connected to the global economy, not just here on campus, but also in our diverse industrial base. We host 2 Japanese companies and a subsidiary of an Italian company. All of our companies purchase and sell products in the global marketplace. Our community wants you to be successful here, both on campus and in the community. The city shares responsibility with DePauw's Office of Public Safety for your safety here in the community. Please do not hesitate to ask for assistance. Several of our police officers live close to campus, so you'll often see police cars in the area. Our fire station is just north of campus. Our county ambulance service, founded many years ago by DePauw students, is just east of campus, and our local hospital is just south of the city. My office is downtown. If there is anything we can do for you, please let us know. On behalf of the City of Greencastle, our local elected officials, our City Council, and all of our employees, welcome to Greencastle and best wishes for your success over the next 4 years as you work towards your graduation. I would now like to introduce Tim Good, Professor of Communication and Theater, for the faculty greeting.
Thank you, Mayor Dory, and a heartfelt welcome to the class of 2024 and all your loved ones from the faculty of DePauw University. My name is Tim Good, and I have taught in the Department of Communication and Theater since 2002. Normally, we would have welcomed you in the Kresge Auditorium of the Green Center for the Performing Arts, from whence we address you today. Normally, last spring, we would have held our commencement ceremony in front of Roy O. West Library, but as we all know, little about our current situation is normal. And we have been able to do neither of those things this year. It is right and good that we grieve those losses and others, even as we joyfully welcome you into our community and hope and plan for our future together. Decus lumenque republicae collegium. That's Latin for, the college is the splendor and light of the common good. Since our founding in 1837, this has been the motto of the institution we call home. The college is the splendor and light of the common good. Today, we ask you to join us in the challenge of living up to this ideal. As a theater person, I find much inspiration from playwrights. So in the spirit of our motto, allow me to share this thought from playwright Anna Devere Smith as one step toward living up to this ideal. I think we need leadership that helps us remember that part of what we are about is caring about more than the person right next to us, but the folks across the way. Throughout your DePauw journey, you will encounter many teachers, and the faculty are just the most obvious ones. Staff members and administrators have been putting in hundreds of extra hours these past few months, making plans and adjusting to new realities, all to prepare the way for your arrival at DePauw, whether virtual or in person. Take time to get to know staff members and administrators as your teachers, as your colleagues, and as individuals separate from their titles. There are other unexpected teachers you will run into as well. Members of the Board of Trustees are not far-off spirits, but individuals dedicated to the future of DePauw. You will meet alumni who will be glad to get to know you and help you along the way. Your fellow students will be some of the most valued teachers and mentors you will find here, and you yourselves will take on this mantle faster than most of you probably realize. So keep in mind the words of playwright Susan Laurie Parks. And as you walk your road, as you live your life, relish the road, and relish the fact that the road of your life will probably be a windy road. Let me return to our motto again. The college is the splendor and light of the common good. This is our ideal. Playwright Lorraine Hansberry helps us to understand our ideal this way. I wish to live because life has that within it, which is that which is good, that which is beautiful, and that which is love. Moreover, because this is so, I wish for others to live for generations and generations and generations and generations. Allow me to offer a reminder that you have not been given permission to be here. No, instead, you have accepted an important responsibility. As of today, you are part of a story that started in 1837, and today, you start writing your scenes of that story one way or another. This moment is not merely an opportunity, this is your responsibility. However, as with every human structure, we regularly fail to live up to our ideals. And so today we ask you to join this struggle with us to make the ideals of DePauw real for every member of our community. As you write your act of the DePauw story, you will enter into conversations and actions that are uncomfortable, difficult, and sometimes painful. I encourage all of us together to be ever more honest about the complete DePauw story, and at the same time use our words and actions to create the world where our ideals are true for you, for the person right next to you, and as Anna DeVere Smith might say, for the folks across the way. I leave you today with one last metaphor, that of a house. The foundation of the house is literally the strength upon which all else depends, without which no other part of the house could exist. The foundation of our house is comprised of our staff members. Take the initiative to forge relationships with the individuals on our staff. You will learn as much with them as with anyone else at DePauw. The walls and doors and windows of our house is the faculty, who create the rooms in which you can work, play, experiment, and seek. The roof of the house is the administration, who protects us from the storms and dangers that would otherwise keep us from our work. The Board of Trustees are executors of the trust, not owners, who ensure that the health of this house is secure now and into the future. The alumni are the adult kids who have grown up and are making their own way, who help younger siblings out in the world and happily revisit the homestead whenever they can. If DePauw's staff, faculty, administration are the foundation, framework, and roof of this house, then the family inside this home is the students. You. We all built this home for you. Welcome to DePauw. We are so glad you're here. Now please enjoy the special music for today's convocation, which is You'll Never Walk Alone by Richard Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein, performed by Associate Professor of Music, Dr. Carrie Jennings, and Senior Staff Accompanist, Dr. Amanda Hobson.
As the 21st president of DePauw, it gives me great pleasure to join my colleagues in welcoming you to the DePauw University class of 2024. Parents and family members, alumni, continuing students, and others who are joining us and watching today's virtual convocation ceremony, I extend a warm welcome to you as well. Students, I so enjoyed the opportunity to greet so many of you during the traditional walk through the arch, marking your official beginning as a DePauw student. I know none of us imagined we would begin our time at DePauw in the midst of a pandemic. We've had to modify our traditional rituals for our welcoming and orientation activities. Many of our classes will be delivered remotely. Some of you will not be with us physically this semester, and we're all trying to figure out what everyone really looks like underneath those masks. In the midst of it all, I want you to know that our DePauw Tiger spirit persists, and I, along with our faculty, staff, and your upper class student mentors, are fully committed to ensuring you have a great first semester at DePauw. If we were gathered physically today, I'd probably start my remarks with a "Go Tigers" cheer, and by confessing that in a former life, before I became a college president, I used to be a cheerleader. Know that school spirit is a big deal to me. There's something about school pride that binds a community together and also helps the world know that DePauw is in the house whenever and wherever we are sporting our school colors. So I expect you to sport your DePauw spirit by wearing your tiger mask all the time you are physically on campus. I certainly will be wearing mine, and to wear black and gold on Spirit Fridays during virtual and in-person classes. And don't ever let me catch you wearing some other college swag on our campus. If so, you'll get a Spirit Amnesty card from me, good for a DePauw t-shirt, hat, pom-pom, or some other DePauw swag. But you have to come to my office to get it. Today marks a new beginning, not only for you, but for me as well, as this is my first official ceremony as the new president of DePauw. You, the class of 2024, will always be a special class for me, as you are my very first class at DePauw. Together, we join a list of other important firsts in DePauw's history, including our founders and the citizens of Putnam County, who in 1837 first imagined that an institution of the first order could be established in what was then described as a raw, muddy frontier village in rural Indiana. And now we enjoy a campus ranked as one of the top, most beautiful campuses in the country. DePauw graduated its first class of 3 students in 1840. We have certainly come a long way since then. In May 2020, we conferred over 400 degrees. The first female students at DePauw, Alice Allen, Laura Beswick, Betty McReynolds, Mary Euphemia Simmons, and Amanda Beck, were admitted to DePauw in 1867, 30 years after our founding as an all-male college, and they went on to establish the very first Greek letter sorority for women in the country, Kappa Alpha Theta. Another national sorority, Alpha Chi Omega, was first founded at DePauw by a music professor and 7 female students to promote the highest musical culture. Both sororities today are still going strong at DePauw and have over 100 chapters across the country. And of course, our School of Music continues to attract incredibly talented faculty and students. In 1888, Tucker Wilson became the first African-American graduate of DePauw. The first female faculty member at DePauw named to a full professorship was Alma Holman. And Percy Julian, class of 1920, after whom the Percy LaVaughn Julian Science and Mathematics building is named, was one of the first Black instructors at DePauw. However, he was a research fellow, not a faculty member. He was denied a faculty position because he was African American. The first African American tenure-track faculty member, Bing Davis, was not appointed until 1971. As the first African American and first female president of DePauw, I owe the first women and the first African American students and faculty a debt of gratitude for paving the way for me to stand before you today. Additionally, our first international students were admitted to DePauw in 1874, and we have a long-standing tradition of international students studying at DePauw. I would like to offer a special welcome to the international students who are part of the class of 2024, as I know many of you faced innumerable challenges to get to Greencastle from your home country. A few other DePauw firsts worthy of mention. DePauw has the first chapter of Phi Beta Kappa in Indiana, founded in 1889. Phi Beta Kappa is the oldest academic honor society in the U.S. and is often described as the most prestigious one. Students inducted into Phi Beta Kappa must have studied the liberal arts and sciences and usually have earned grades placing them in the top 10% of their class. Our Alpha Indiana chapter of Phi Beta Kappa was founded before the Phi Beta Kappa chapters at Wabash, IU, Notre Dame, Butler, and Purdue in Indiana, and before Princeton, Stanford, University of Michigan, Berkeley, Duke, USC, and WashU, just to name a few other prestigious national universities whose Phi Beta Kappa chapters were founded after DePauw's. And in case you're curious, yes, I did study the liberal arts as a college student, and no, my grades were not high enough for me to be inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. In fact, I think my first semester grades as a first-year student were C+, C-, and see me after class. I did, however, get myself together, and through great faculty mentorship and encouragement, just like you will experience here at DePauw, I went on to graduate school and earned a PhD from one of those schools whose Phi Beta Kappa chapter was founded after DePauw's. DePauw has many other firsts in our 183-year-old history that I'd like to encourage you to learn more about. As a DePauw student, you will also learn about and experience firsthand many other things for which we are well known, including our successful alumni in a range of fields, many of whom you will hear from in our new Leadership in the Liberal Arts course, networking opportunities between current students and alumni, and the support our alumni from each class provide to each succeeding generation of Tigers that is unmatched anywhere in the world. And many of you are also first, a first-generation college student, or the first of your siblings to go to college, or the first person from your high school or your country to come to DePauw. And all of you are the first class to enter DePauw in the midst of a 21st century global pandemic. I highlighted a few of these firsts, both as points of DePauw pride and to also convey that being first is not always easy. Being first often means to forge a path that no others have yet taken, to be often met with skepticism and resistance for your audacity to dream bigger, to sometimes experience failure before success, to perhaps not enjoy the fruits of your labors in your own time, but in looking back, history will show what you did to make your mark and to pave a way for others. So as my first class, what will you do to forge a path, dream bigger, be patient in a year when everything is upside down, and make DePauw an even better place for the generations of Tigers who will follow you? Those are not questions I expect for you to answer today, but those I hope you will think about over your next 4 years on campus. As you begin your first year as a DePauw student, you will receive advice from many of us about how to ensure your time at DePauw is successful and that you're able to realize your hopes and your dreams for your college education. My advice is simple. Number one, pursue your passion. Well, not that kind of passion. You may pursue that here, but that's not my responsibility. I mean, pursue your academic passion. Find a field of study that you're excited about and resolve to put all of your time and energy into being an engaged and intellectually curious student. Secondly, develop a wide circle of friendships while you are here. DePauw has students from all across the country and the world. Your education will be enriched by learning something from someone who has grown up in a neighborhood or a country that is different from your own. In fact, I love this quote from Christian Hernandez, class of 2020, and last year's student body president, who said, "DePauw has shown me how to stand with individuals from all types of backgrounds and learn in diverse settings." And finally, keep everything in perspective. I'm reminded of a letter a first-year student wrote to her parents, telling them all about how she broke her leg jumping from her residence hall balcony due to a fire. moved in with a boyfriend that was the same age as her parents, and found a new religion to explore a whole new way of life. Turns out nothing in that letter was true, but the student had received her first semester grades, which were 2 A's, a B, and a D, and she wanted her parents to keep everything in perspective. Speaking of perspective, as you think about this wonderful college experience on which you are about to embark, keep front of mind that the fundamental purpose of a college education, a liberal arts education in particular, is to expose you to the diversity of ideas. Freedom of expression is an essential component to learning, and the members of our community have the right to speak and express their viewpoint. Protecting one person's right to speak and another's right to disagree is a critically important value at our university. At the same time, know that as a DePauw community, we are committed to mutual respect, tolerance, civility, and caring for one another, even when we have differences of opinion or perspective. In these uncertain times, when engaging in respectful dialogue with those who are different from us in some way seems to be exceedingly difficult, these values are even more important. So as you matriculate into this wonderfully diverse community that is DePauw, I hope that you will engage in rich debate and dialogue and ask yourself, what can I do to make a difference toward creating a world where every human being feels valued, regardless of race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, nationality, or political perspective. I hope you are as excited as I am about our first year together. Welcome to DePauw. We are so glad that you are here.